Hey, everyone, this is Brian. It's Wednesday, November the 4th, and hope you had a good day. And we're one day after the election day here, and it was a little bit of a strange day, I have to say. There was obviously some money rotating into some sectors and out of others. And you can see here the technology sector pretty much held up all day. SPY and Dow surged and then pulled back a little bit. Let's get right into it here. Let's look at the indexes and let's look at the sectors. So let's start out with the transports, and you can see here transports did not have a good day. So now there was one of the many sort of strange things that happened today. You can see here, we tried to push higher in the day and ended up pulling back. And this doesn't necessarily always bode well for the economy, but that was the day we ended up having here on the transports. You can see here we're coming back up off a sell-off, and this is a pretty much a pretty bearish candle on the transports. So let's go through here some of the other stuff. Big hit on looked like we were breaking out here on the yields, but a big hit on the yields today. Yields dropped significantly, bond prices increased, and again, this is kind of, if you read this is kind of a signal that maybe the economy isn't as good as everyone is hoping it would be. Can yields drop? That's typically what the signal is. So had a bit of a rollover on stochastics after this big push up, and RSI is back down around 50. So again, sort of for the economy, it's a bit of a negative chart. The Dow, we've had three big days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, back to back. Dow really pushed up hard today and pulled back significantly off the high of the day, did it on volume, and stochastics still heading up. Probably are still going to head higher here, but might find some resistance up in this area, right where we are right now. So when these moving averages, of course, pulled back and didn't broke through them, but couldn't hold, couldn't stay above them, both the 20 and the 50. IWM was, again, this was one of the strange things. You can see here it started out down on the day. Most of the markets were gapping up. The Dow, the SPY, the Qs, and the IWM was actually gapping down on the day. Now we did manage to eke out a bit of a gain here on the small caps, but again, if you're thinking the economy is is picking up steam, going to do well, you would think the small caps would be the beneficiary of that. And you can see here pretty big volume today. We did manage again to finish in the green on the day, just barely, but yeah, signals on the stochastics, MACD, and RSI all look fairly positive for a move higher. So, and the Qs, again, huge gap up. As I said before, there was definitely some rotation out of some sectors, and that rotation went strongly into the technology side of things. So we had some really big winners today. Facebook, Nvidia, AMD. A lot of the technology sector did really well today, and we did it on volume here. Probably going to continue to push higher. We've got 25.95, 295 here as a high that we got back in the middle of October. So Q still looking interesting. SPY again, pretty significant pullback off the high of the day, but nonetheless had a good strong day. Stochastics, everything looking positive, and the dollar was down today. So you can see here we had a bit of an outside day. It was up and then it was down, finished down on the day just slightly. Very little volume on the dollar here, and stochastics kind of rolling over. So maybe we had a little bit lower on the dollar. VIX, huge pullback on the VIX today. Again, kind of strange that it would pull back this much. Not really sure why that. I guess we got through election day and there was no riots in the streets or something. I don't know. But big pullback on the VIX once we got through this election day that was yesterday. So let's take a look at what really worked today here. You can see, and what didn't. You can see the SPY again, same comments before. Discretionaries kind of mimic the SPY. And of course, communications, technology, big winners on the day. You can see here, big gap up, challenging some moving averages. The communications sector really just took off here. Materials, not such a great day. Industrials, obviously money rotating out of that for the time being. Energy had a indecision day here. That's an indecision candle, just a spinning top. Staples really tried to gap up and then sold off. Healthcare was another winner today. Big winner on healthcare. Utilities pulled back a bit. Financials kind of had a down day. And again, just an indecision candle there. And the real estate's off again here. Tried to rally it, but ended up pretty much flat on the day. Just a couple of mentions on some individual stocks here. You can see NEO, we've been playing this almost daily, pretty much daily as a day trade. Just keeps moving higher here, but we are getting into some area where it's pretty overbought here, I would say. So you can see here what happened when it got up to this level before. We had a bit of a pullback. Same here. We had a pullback. Same back here. We had this pullback. So we are getting up into a kind of an area where it's getting pretty extended. Stochastics are quite high. Again, this is an area where we typically do see pullbacks, so just be careful. We had a bit of a spinning top today as well on NEO. So again, indecision candle. Maybe looking at getting into some flat line action. But we will see what happens in the morning. It's still probably going to be in play because it just seems to be that kind of a stock right now. Here is LAC, Lithium Americas. Talked about that in the room yesterday. Got into this trade. I liked how the way it sort of put in a bit of a bottoming pattern here at 9. Got into it. We got a nice pop on it on Tuesday, and I took some off, and then we had a pullback day today, but I'm going to be watching it tomorrow. I still have some, and it bounced off this trend line. I'll just draw this on here, and it's kind of rough and dirty. You can see here we were in an established downtrend. We broke from that trend. And quite often what happens is you come back and you retest this support line. And I think we got a nice retest today. So if it breaks down below this low, I'll stop out of the rest of it. But I am hoping we'll get a nice move, maybe back up to 1150 and then even higher. Again, lithium, big part of the battery, the whole battery market for EVs and electric vehicles. And of course, they seem to be the hot ticket right now. So TAN is another one I've got some money in, just a little. I've just got a few shares left, but basically it's the solar ETF. Had a nice run up here. It sold off, but it came back during the day. So sort of at an area now where it had some support before, and it just came back up and and kind of held it. So I'm just and it was a big volume day, so maybe a bit of a reversal here. I'm hoping that's indication that maybe we're going to get a reversal on this, and it's going to head back up to 70. But you can see here we made a higher low on stochastics. RSI's maybe making a higher low. Yeah, sorry, not a higher low, but it looks like it's maybe triple bottom. Hopefully, like I said, I like this volume bar here. It looks like a big sort of sell-off, and then it came back up. So I know we've talked about this in some of our day trading videos, where you look for this big sell-off volume bar here as a sign that maybe a trend is changing. So keeping an eye on that one tomorrow. So we got a pretty heavy earnings day tomorrow. I think over 300 companies reporting, some of the big ones here. We've got Alibaba before the open. Of course, that got smacked around a bit with the suspension of the Ant IPO. I think it's maybe temporary, but not going forward. So we'll see what they report. Square, of course, PayPal reported earlier. Good numbers. We'll see what Square does. Roku, Trade Desk, Electronic Arts, Peloton will be interesting. And we got Uber. Uber and Lyft got the big bump today because of the outcome of the proposition. California sounds like drivers are gonna stay as contractors. Take-Two Interactive, GoPro, GoDaddy reported already. I think Zynga Group. Barrick will be interesting. We got lots of stuff coming up tomorrow that'll keep things interesting. So, amongst other things, U.S. initial job claims for unemployment, another number coming up that people will be watching. So that's it, everyone, for the evening. Hope you, like I said, hope you had a good day. We'll see you in the room tomorrow if you're going to join us. YouTube at 8:30. Pre-market show with Norm and Carlos, and then we'll trade the market at 9:30 when we get to the open. And that's my book on Amazon, How to Swing Trade, if you haven't checked it out. Have a great night, everybody. We'll hopefully see you all in the morning.